Alright, so I just had a quick question that I wanted to ask other folks and see how they felt about it. Now, me personally, I still collect physical CDs. I just feel that it's just a better way to have the music versus hard drives and MP3s and whatnot, because eventually the hard drives crash. And true, you could say the same with physical media, eventually deteriorates over time, but I still feel CD's just a better option. That's my personal opinion. And if you feel that way, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. Everybody has their own personal opinion, and that is fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Anyways, the question that I had to get back onto topic here. How or what actually determines the value of these CDs, for example, or vinyl, or even cassettes for that matter? I know some of it has to do with the amount of prints that were made for the album. If it's out of print, obviously it's a little more rare, so it's gonna have a higher value. But what actually determines it? If it's a reasonably what's the word I'm looking for? If it was pressed, a decent amount of time, so it's not like there's not a shortage in the album itself. There's like a lot of copies of there. What makes an album more valuable than the next one? Is it just a personal thing, or is it like, is there really a set standard that makes albums have a certain value? I'm just curious, because I always wondered, sometimes you see albums going on eBay for like $80, and then you can see the same album for like $6. So I'm just trying to figure it out. And then also, is it better to leave the CDs or the tapes or the the vinyl records wrapped in the plastic? Is that a better option? I mean, if you're gonna listen to it, obviously you want to open it and check it out, right? And that's what I would do personally, because what's the point of having an album if you can't listen to the music? I mean, if you get the MP3s, I guess that's one way of going around not having to open it. But I like to look at the artwork and the book and see the notes, the shout outs from the artists, and check out the samples that were used for songs and whatnot. So I'm just trying to figure it out, because I got a bunch of CDs, and they're still in the wrapping, and I have a few copies of it. I'm just trying to figure out, what's the best thing for this person to do with them. Should I keep them? Is there gonna be like a higher value to them because they're wrapped in the plastic still, or that it doesn't matter with certain albums? They're just throwaways. They didn't 10-cent albums or whatever you want to give the label of to them. So yeah, I don't know. It's just some random jumbled up thoughts that I had going in my head, and I wanted to record it before I forgot. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just curious, what just gives these things the value that they end up with? I mean, could you, like, realistically, could you just take any random album and sell it for crazy ridiculous amount of cash, and that be okay for the market itself? Or is there like set standards, like I said before? I mean, I guess realistically, if you want to sell an album for $5,000 and somebody has $5,000 to throw away and they buy it, then I guess that answers the question, right? But it's just some questions I had, real quick and to the point, as it rains harder and harder here. So if you got anything to add to the conversation, that's great. I would definitely like to hear what you have to say about it. You know, I'm always curious, because I mean, I'm not ever gonna stop buying CDs. I don't think, unless I run out of room, of course. But that's another story altogether. But I mean, I got like sometimes I come across like a few times I had, you know, I had like at one point I had like 7 or 8 copies of the Lady of Rage album in plastic still, and you know I eventually sold them to people that really, you know, were fans of hers and really appreciated it, and you know didn't charge them an arm and a leg like some people do, you know, which I just think music should be for people to check out. I don't think you should really profit off the music, you know what I mean? I understand making a couple dollars, but you know sometimes you see like CD singles going for like $300-400, and I just don't get it, man. I really don't. So yeah, that's it. Anyways, thanks for listening to the rambling. Take care of yourself. Happy 4th of July. Happy Canada Day to the Canadians out there. Happy birthday, Mom, since your birthday's the same day as Canada Day. Love you and take care. And thank you, like I said, thank you for checking it out. Feel free to drop some comments. Peace.